Man, just quietly, things are really happening in Milwaukee. And here we go at the buzzer. Beats Indy. It was Myles Turner's big return, and we will get to that at some point. 33 points, 13 rebounds, and it's the second buzzer beater of his career for Giannis. Turner finishes with 9-7 and 5 blocks. Pascal finishes with 32. But let's get to Giannis for a second. We're going to start with that buzzer beater just because there's no way in the world that this was the plan going in. So, Chandler, difficulty of the shot. Let's rate it. What do you got?
A 10 out of 10. I mean, this was an insane shot. And if you're the defense, listen, you live with this. This is fantastic defense, fantastic, isolation defense by Naismith. The help defense was there. It's a great player, hit a great shot. And these are the shots you have to live with if you're Indiana. Here's what I noticed about this, though. I love the fact that Giannis is so into it. Silence in the crowd, thumbs down. You know this is more than a game. And Lou's played these games before where you have an ex-teammate or you yourself go back to a place and it's hostile and the environment is jumping and they're saying things. There's a lot of trash talk. Giannis wanted to win this game, obviously for the Bucks, but he wanted to win this game for the big fella Myles Turner, and he did. And he hit an awesome shot. And again, as a defense, you just got to clap your hands and hats off to Giannis there. But you with that shot.
Okay. I think that was like a weird little glitch in the matrix, but we're going to go ahead and take it. Lou, what'd you think? I don't know.
We just realized Chandler's an alien. He's not real.
Yeah, you went full robot on.
Up, Chandler.
I do got a new camera today, so we're working out all the kinks.
The gig is up. But listen, you know what? I think Indiana will take that shot for the game. I think they really would take that shot for a game. They showed him a crowd. They didn't allow him to get in the paint where he's most comfortable, where he can be dominant. You got 4 guys on 4 different boxes right there. He's shooting a fadeaway jump shot over 2 guys with a late contest coming from that corner as well.
God.
This is a shot. Yeah, this is a shot that every defense would take, especially for a guy who's not known to make these type of shots, who doesn't have the reputation for fadeaway jump shots 18 feet from the basket, going over his weak shoulder. You'll take that shot. Also, on the flip side of it, if you're Giannis, I like to see your game expanding out to these type of shots, these type of heroics to add to your bag at this stage in your career. An incredible shot. It was an incredible game on both sides. I think both teams were competitive. But if I'm the defense, I'm living with that shot for the game.
Yeah, and I think Giannis, he has a great understanding of shot selection now, especially knowing his weakness is outside shooting. He's only taking the shot into game, into shot clock. He's never really forcing these type of attempts. So I think he's like last night, he was 1 for 2 from the 3-point line. I love that. He's more focused on being physical, getting out in transition, and doing what he does best. So like Lou just said, you got to just tap his butt on this one and give him credit on this shot, because this was an insane shot.
Tap his butt, ladies and gentlemen. Just get on that. Giannis averaging. By the way, the lighting is, I'm distracted, Chandler. You're glowing. Giannis averaging 34 on 68% shooting. And he's 13 boards a game at this point, Lou. And I can't believe I'm saying this in a year where we're talking about Denver might be the best squad they've put together. Are we looking at the best Giannis that we've seen so far in his career? He is still almost not even 32 yet.
Yep, he's in that pocket, and Chandler will know that from 30 to about 34, that is your window of your prime. That is at a time in your career, no matter what your accolades are, no matter what you've accomplished, in between that span of time, that's where you start to figure out the game. That's when you learn how to manipulate the game to go your way. That's how you find ways to play a game inside of the game, play chess and not checkers. And I think Giannis is in that position. He's always been a high percentage guy when he's played because of the style of basketball. He's always attacking the rim. He's always trying to finish at the top of the rim. He knows how powerful he is when he plays at the rim. But now he's expanding his game. Now he's starting to understand things. We just talked about that game winner that he just made, fading away from the basket. That's something that he's adding to his game. He's not forcing. He's taking what the defense is giving him. And even at the 3-point line, he only shot 2 3-pointers, but I'm going to take the shots that you guys give me. If not, if you're going to back up from the 3-point line, I'm going to force your hand some way or another by closing that gap in between space. So I love where Giannis is, but this is absolutely the best version of him that we've seen so far in his career because, again, he just has so many different tools in his toolbox that he can go to, that he can reach in his bag and try to win basketball games because of his experiences over the years. And now he's using all of those experiences. He's using all of everything that he's gone through, all of his failures, everything that people have criticized him for. He's using all of those things against everybody, and he's coming into his prime.
Yeah, that 1920 season when he won MVP and he averaged 30 and 14 on 55% shooting was insane. The dude's shooting 68% from the field, and he's shooting 61 from the free throw. So he's still got room to grow there. But again, it's never going to be his strength. But the fact that he is pretty much a guard, wing, whatever you want to call him, and can dominate like a Shaquille O'Neal did is truly remarkable. And basically, Wemby wants to be like this. They're very similar, but Giannis is so physical that's the next step that Wemby can take, just how Giannis just manhandles you in the post, on the offensive glass, on the defensive end. I'm actually surprised he doesn't average more than a block a game because Giannis has that Wemby type potential to alter shots and block shots like he does. But this is a great version of him. And when you look at the makeup of this team, we always talk about second option or third option. There's a clear-cut one, and there's 9 guys on this team that average double digits. That is awesome for a guy like Giannis that just knows I can pick my spots, I can go when I want, I can be aggressive every single night, and I got 8 other guys that are capable of going and getting me 15 to 20 points a night. Guys like Gary Trent, guys like AJ Green, guys like Bobby Portis. Those guys are consistent, they're reliable, and they know how to play off a star like Giannis. So right now it's working. In the Eastern Conference, it's wide open. If I'm the Bucks, I'm looking at, Philly and the Bulls and these teams that are right around us. I think I'm just as good as them, if not better.
You know what? We talked about OKC yesterday and them having a blueprint of winning. Look at how teams are reverting back to having one star and a bunch of role players around and having guys to buy in. The Milwaukee Bucks, they are the epitome of that, right? Like you lose Dame Lillard to injury, then eventually trade him back to Portland. And now you have a clear pecking order, and now you got 8 to 9 guys that's giving you really, really good production, and they are bought in. They're bought into the system. They're bought into, hey, this is going to be the guy that leads us, but everybody hold your weight. Everybody just do your job, and we're going to be okay. And the Milwaukee Bucks are showing that, man, that this preseason, we were unclear about what this team was going to look like, what was going to be the personality, what was going to be the make of this team. And they're starting to show us. They're going to do this by committee, and Giannis is going to be the head of the snake to that. As long as he plays well like this, it makes it easy for all of the role players to do their jobs. And Milwaukee's been hooping so far, man.
5th best odds right now for MVP. I think this is going to be, if it keeps up even remotely close to this MVP race is going to be really fun all season long. But anybody putting a couple bucks on that, Chandler?
Yeah, I mean, plus 600. It's tough because those guys ahead of him, when you're talking about Wemby and SGA and Jokic and Luka.
Who do you have ahead of him right now?
SGA, Jokic, Wemby. Then it's
Giannis.
Probably him, honestly. Giannis,
all right, so
Luka,
he's moved up a spot.
So right now, right now I got Giannis I'll even say I got Giannis in the 3 spot. Even though I would say Wemby. He's out of all of these guys, he just had a recent dud. Listen, this is gonna be a game by game thing. If all of these guys are playing at this level, we gotta judge them game by game. Wemby just had a dud, so for today.
Fair.
Give me Giannis in that spot.
You know what's awesome for All-Star Weekend is that none of them are American.
Correct.
Chandler, I know. Isn't it? Oh, you're being sarcastic.
Correct. I still like USA for whatever reason. I still like USA. Maybe I'm a little delusional a little bit, but I still like USA. Where's my flag?
You guys are flag waving.
To the moon, Lou. To the moon.
I'm going to bet you guys all of my monies when it comes down to this. Big return from Myles Turner. Not exactly the way I thought it was going to go out. I thought this was going to be a really nice, warm welcome. It wasn't. A lot of boos. Here's Myles Turner after the game.
It was disheartening, man. It was frustrating. You give 10 years of your life, your blood, your sweat, your tears. You take pay cuts. You You know, you survive trade rumors. You know, you try to do everything the right way, and then sometimes not enough stuff shakes out. You know, it's cool. You know, I take it on the chin. You know, I think a lot of people will say I said things, but I think a lot of people want to formulate their own narratives and spin it to whatever they want it to be. But it is what it is, man. Like I say, you know, you take it on the chin, just move on.
Man, that's tough.
I know, Lou. What'd you think of the trade rumors thing too? That was every year. What did you think?
Yeah, I feel for him. He makes a great point. You know, 10 years of your career in a fan base that, you know, at that 10-year mark, you finally kind of get it together and you get to the finals and a very competitive 7-game series. And then you move on and that's the greeting that you get. That's the thanks that you get, all because of some internet talk. I didn't love it. I'm not very familiar with the Indiana fan base when it comes to these type of scenarios. You really don't see a lot of guys come back to Indiana and be received in that way that's played for the Indiana Pacers. So with all things considered, it is disheartening to have that welcome. I can't imagine me playing in Philly for 8 years and then coming back and being booed. I can't imagine coming back to the Clippers after a great 5-year run and being booed, let alone a 10-year span that you help lead a team to the finals and have an opportunity to win a championship, you know, and survive through the trade rumors. Like I'll say this really quickly about Ja Morant. I know this is not about him, but I spoke about the fan base yesterday, what he owes to that fan base, right? Out of all of the trade rumors, out of everything that was said about Myles Turner, he still showed up best he could, and he still competed, and they still accomplished things. You know what I'm saying? Out of all of the talk, all of the rumors, he still showed up, and he was professional, and he did his part. So to see him receive like that, I didn't love it for him. It was disheartening.
Yeah, especially for a guy too, like we talked about. This guy's been on the trade block, trade
Every
rumors,
year.
pretty much his entire career in Indiana, and he was a huge, vital part of that team that went to the finals. That really had no business being there. Like they weren't one of the better teams. They weren't expected to be there. And Myles Turner, you know, played. He played when hurt. He did take pay cuts. So again, I think this is just the unruly part of sports, and this is throughout fans. There's people in Dallas that booed Luka Doncic when he came back, and he got traded in the nighttime and whispers.
That's crazy.
Chandler is an alien. He's not real, guys. He's not real.
Is it tweaking again?
Go ahead.
It's like, it makes me laugh. Like you're like.
It's just this is just kind of the dirty, gross part of sports that you kind of everyone goes through, and it's a shame because these dudes do leave it all on the line. This dude did take a pay cut. He did play through injury. He did all the things that you would want as an organization, and you still have the audacity to boo him when he comes back after going to get his money. Like, I hate it. I hate it when it's pretty much any player in any sport. It's not fair, but also it's part of the business. And now you're on the enemy, so I get it from that aspect. Like,
yeah, sometimes
I remember when
But we have reasons to, like, fans usually have reasons to boo. So we must just not know. Like, maybe there's something
basically
going on
I'm a Pacer fan, and now you're on the Bucks, and we.
But I don't do that. As the fan
but Chandler,
on this panel,
usually,
I don't do that.
Yeah, like usually you get cheered when you arrive. You get cheered when they do your tribute video, and then after that, all is fair. You're gonna get booed for the rest of the game. That's what competitive sports are. But for him to be booed from the bus back to the bus,
that's weird.
That's kind of weird.
It's weird.
You know,
it's a weird one.
I'm sure.
I don't remember
I'm sure
any,
there's
like,
more to it than we know, but I'm not sure.
I don't remember any like nasty headlines of him like having animosity with the fan base or getting into it with anybody. So I don't really understand where it stems from. I just think this is how people react in sports, and it's a cold world, and I don't think it's fair. I don't think Myles Turner deserved it. I think it should have been the opposite. Matter of fact, I think it should have been a standing ovation and someone that led you to Game 7 of the finals last year, and then you didn't want to pay him what someone else did. He should be pissed off, not the other way around.
This was a weird one. As a person who enjoys booing when it's merited, like, I didn't get this one. I really didn't. Leading up to the game, he did talk about Pacers ownership and just sort of this. And by the way, if you have eyes, you'd probably agree. The look that they've just given up completely after becoming so very, very close to winning a title there, Chandler. I mean, is that even out of hand? Like, I feel like that statement's pretty truthful, it looks like.
No, and it feels like it. Obviously, with Tyrese going down, it's like, do we invest in Myles Turner when the head of our snake is going to be out, and we're not really going to be that contenders? And by the way, it's not even just Tyrese. They've had Toppin out, they've had McConnell out, they've had Matherin out, they've had injuries, from top to bottom. So I think it was a decision that the ownership made, which is fair. We're not going to pay him that much money. Someone else did. Let him walk. We had a great run here. But the fact that there's any sort of animosity and stuff, and we live in a world of social media, man, where maybe he got in some spats. We saw the podcast that was kind of taken out of pocket about Tyrese. Also didn't really check out once you watch the whole thing. It wasn't shade to me at all. So I think a lot of things get misconstrued with social media and all these different platforms where you can get yourself in hot water. But Myles Turner really didn't do any of that.
Did not have this.
But you can't blame ownership, man. You really can't. If you ever had a garden snake at your house, like I do in these deep woods from time to time, if you cut the head off that snake, No, listen, if you cut that head off the snake, I'm not preparing for nothing else. That's the end of the story. And with Tyrese Halliburton being out and we've reached the mountaintop and he's out for a season, hey, that's it, fellas. We got some time to figure this thing out and retool. As much talent as they had, they were only going to go as far as Tyrese was going to take them, and that shows in their record and where they are at 1-6 with so many injuries and all of these different things. So he can't be mad at ownership for that, and the fan base can't be mad at him for moving on and going to get his cheese either. So I don't know what the problem is.
Chandler, did Lou just get real tough about a garden snake?
Yeah, can we unpack that?
Listen, I got garden snakes, I got copperheads.
Okay,
I got it all in my backyard.
Copperhead's that's another animal. Garden snake, I even grew to be like, okay, they're around.
Everything getting its head cut off.
Damn, Lou, settle down.
Call it what you want. It's all dying.
Okay, let's move on.
Let's go.
This took a turn.